it because it doesn't suit their plans. It doesn't suit Bill O'Reilly's plans. It doesn't suit Glenn Beck's plans. It doesn't suit Sean Hannity's plans. It doesn't suit any politician's plans because they have to keep you here so that they can keep their style up here. That's how it works.
It sounds like one of those other countries.
There's no difference between, there's no difference between our democracy and anybody else's because we elect politicians that are just as crooked as, Mark Twain, we have the best politicians that money can buy. That's Mark Twain. That's 100 years ago. We have the best. We have the best politicians that money can buy.
And I don't think it's changed.
It's not changed. The instant Brown in Massachusetts. The instant he becomes senator, he automatically forgot what he was elected to do. Virtually everybody, as soon as they're elected, starts working on their next campaign. We have to have more money. I mean, we have a president. Everybody should be outraged. I mean, totally outraged at this man. That he's going to raise $1 billion, not to stomp on Republicans, he's raising $1 billion to kick the asses of any Democrat that wants to run against him. He needs that money to destroy him, and he will. I mean, there'll be 10,000, private detectives out there looking up for information. I mean,
yeah, just as Sarah Palin.
Yeah, I mean, they'll know if you basically streaked while you were in college. They'll know about that time that you took that, you were smoking that funny cigarette. They'll all know about it before you get the chance. That's what $1 billion can buy.
A lot.
Right, so, all we're talking about, if you want to make your business work, you've got to invest in it. Setting on it, go to every community in the country, look at the strip malls. Those are people, a lot of people that ran those businesses had the money to continue to run the business. They just pulled up shop rather than continue to lose money. You lose money until you start making money. That's a business. Do you think Amazon would exist today? Amazon never made money.
They spent many years of venture capital money.
YouTube doesn't make any
Facebook.
Money. Facebook is a money-losing proposition, more or less, and so is Twitter. But they're bringing billions of dollars in. And when they become profitable, they'll be profitable because they didn't stop. If you stop, you cannot have a business in a strip mall and then decide, well, it's becoming too expensive for us to continue to do it. So let's just lose everything we'd had, and then we'll go home, and I'll go to work at McDonald's. Let's see. My father hated doing all the jobs that my father did, but my father did all the jobs that he could do so he could do what he wanted to do, and that's the whole trick. I mean, you don't open a business, you should never open a business if it's not something you want to do. I mean, we know people that basically have given up their dreams because, well, it's an awful lot of hard work and we're not making any money at it. Well, the guys that were ahead of them that created the businesses, it was a lot of hard work and they weren't making any money at it. They stuck to it, basically, my grandmother she had a medical degree from University of Edinburgh in Ireland. Actually was Scotland, but she moved from Ireland to Scotland so she could go and study, because they actually let women into the study program in Scotland. And she said that she got to meet people while she was in college, like Robert Louis Stevenson. She met Arthur Conan Doyle. She met Edgar Rice Burroughs. She met a lot of these people. And she said what separated them from the other people in the country, and actually some of those verbs, was not their ability to write books, was their ability to do what they were told couldn't be done. Nobody wants to see what you're doing. Nobody wants it. So why don't you just be a doctor? Why don't you teach school? Why don't you do these safe things? No, I think what I'm going to do is abandon my career as an MD. Dr. Watson was actually, Arthur Conan Doyle, folks. Watson was Doyle.
Oh.
He abandoned his medical career to write. And people, no, don't do that. Because he'd write little things, one paragraph things. There's a book, like 350-page book with Conan Doyle, but some of these things are only one paragraph long. Well, you can't make any money. What do you mean? 1 penny a word. Well, that was still like 50 cents maybe. 50 cents in Victoria, England, that's a lot of money. And Glenn Miller, another person that my father met, you know. Glenn Miller, you know, they got a scene in one of the movies where it actually really is true. You know, where his in-law, basically, our daughter really got a screwed up life living with this guy. And he said, well, well, how much money do you get? And I said, I don't know, I think I get 10 cents a record. And then his wife, I think he sold 750,000 records. And the guy goes in a state of 10 cents on each, and you sold, you know, and that wasn't even, and she said, that wasn't even a big seller. And he said, they go, how much money does he make? And he said, he paid cash for this house. He paid cash for the car. He paid cash for everything. And then all of a sudden, son-in-law became very popular. But Miller basically, Glenn Miller, the Miller sound he basically was a really second-rate everything, and he didn't, you know, the story has, Glenn Miller's story has good pieces and bad pieces and stuff. The truth of it is he didn't give up. He fell one time after another time after another time. He just did nothing but fell. I mean, the guy even wrote a song about his wife's phone number. You know, you know, because he wrote it because what would happen was, this was true, he couldn't remember what the
He couldn't remember what it was,
and
so he wrote a song.
And
so
what happened was the band would say, hey, oh, okay, and then he'd call it, and then he got, oh, and then he'd go, you know.
I was kidding about that.
No, that's what he did. He wrote a song, the band kept yelling at him, well, when they were in rehearsal, the number. You know, that they do the thing, and then he got the idea. You know, he just wrote a song to it because it was in his playbook. You know, he'd go through the book like that, and then he'd know what number to call his wife. It was their house phone. He couldn't remember what the house phone was. So, but if he'd have given up, there'd have been no, you know.
He remembers those.
I know. But there'd have been none of that. There'd have been, nothing would have ever happened today. There'd be no expansion if the little guy had not made the attempt. You have to go that one step further. It's what separates you from everybody else is the ability. Actually, like, it's like one of the people I know said, it's just, the difference between me and everybody else is I have the guts to go out and gamble and all. When I have, and he said, well, what's the big deal? You're not, if you lose it, you're not going to lose anything. He said, yeah, but most people won't go that last step because they feel, well, we can't go one step more because we're going to lose anything. Well, my father said, if you're going to lose anything, that is the best time to gamble because you don't have anything left to lose. So you gamble. My father built houses in bad times. If that's not gambling. My father went to Alaska to sell ice cream to Eskimos. When nobody else could do it, you know why they couldn't sell ice cream to Eskimos? Because no one had ever taken the ice cream to the Eskimos. It was real simple to sell the ice cream to the Eskimos. Because, sweet. You know what they've been doing? They've been putting syrup on ice. They knew
Ices.
they've been making syrup. They put syrup on ice.
Oh, those are like those
Or they
Hawaiian
sprinkle
snow cones.
powdered sugar on ice. They were a built-in audience. Well, you can't sell ice cream to Eskimos because they're cold. They love ice cream because it's sweet, and everything that they had was
not sweet.
Was not sweet. So, and the same thing. Like you can't sell sugar to people that grow sugar cane. Well, yeah, because they don't use sugar. They basically use cane. Notice that they're chewing a cane. So the sugar, basically, you have to process the cane in order to make it anything
Sugar
else.
you don't. You just use.
You sit there and sprinkle it on the stuff. You can't go like this when you're on your rice. So it really went over really well, folks. You can because somebody has the nerve to take that one step further, which is what we do. We go on and on and on. I talk too much. You know, these are the only times that you actually, unless I'm off the camera when I'm actually talking, and I get wound up over the editorials.
He does.
Well, because I'm a product. Okay, I'm a product of this nation. I'm a product of a whole bunch of immigrants that have been coming here since since 1772 we've been coming to this country. We've been here, we leave, we go back, we come back and forth. So I know, I mean, she's a product. Her family are immigrants to this country. I mean, she's like a zillion, you know, I mean, she goes back so far that her family, you know, we're not allowed to own property in the state of California.
Right.
I mean, you know, some of her family members are really famous family people too, and they basically get other people to own the property for them, and then they could live in the places, and you know. But you'd think that the Chinese people would have done well in San Francisco and Los Angeles if they hadn't been willing to gamble.
Yeah.
Why did immigrants come to our country with nothing?
Well, that was the gamble to start with.
That's the gamble. The gamble that they can come here and do something.
Yeah, because wherever they were, they had the belief and the desire to create a better living, which is why they came here in the first place.
Yeah, the general American has no belief that he can accomplish anything anymore. I still do. I'm flat out. I'm really up there. I'm old enough to figure out how old I really am. You know, like last day we were in a store yesterday, and a guy that's really not that much taller than I am, he just reaches over a thing and picks up something.
I told you he was.
I know, he's just not that, you know, but that's, so I'm up there in age. I used to do that when, you know, 40 years ago I had.
He was taller than you just.
I know, but he just reached over. He could actually just reached over, picked it up, and I'm ready now. I'm on top. I'm up as high as I can, and I can't reach back there. And I don't have short arms. I just look like a gorilla. But he was that much taller than me, you know, young person. But because we're in a store created by people that had a dream, and they keep putting their money into their dream. Keep prices low, you'll keep people coming in, and it works, you know. And they don't necessarily make money all the time, but they try to keep the business going. But this is, you know, this is our editorial. We're just dropping at the moment as we're waiting for phone calls.
We're waiting.
We're hoping that the money comes in.
We're waiting and hoping. Sometimes the waiting is the most.
And I'll say, well, you have the money. You got the tickets to Cannes, and you've got the rooms available and stuff. You can go there and gamble. Well, yeah, but you can't gamble if you can't get a loan on the money you got. If you can't get a loan from a bank, you can't gamble. I mean, merchandise is nice, but it's just like they said the other day, this is the key word for Barack Obama and the Democratic Party. You can't eat an iPad. And that's said because they're using, iPads have actually went down in price during this so-called inflationary period. And the guy,
It's competition.
Yeah, but the guy said, in his response, a reporter said to their people, "Yes, sir, but you can't eat an iPad." That's the, you know, that's it. So this is my grub for today. This is OCAM.
And this is not a spring chicken. We're here yesterday, today, and tomorrow. For more information,
you can go to www.montebolo.net on the net, which isn't going to get a slight improvement because the company welched on the software, which I'm pissed off about, folks.
Yeah, we ordered it, and let's just say they're out of stock with no ship date.
With no ship date, which means they sold something they didn't really have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wherever you're watching us, subscribe to us, follow our daily newscast in 3D, and thank you once again for over 40 million links on the internet.